Ross Hart and wife Trudy get no rest after harvest and pruning. They must now brave cold August winds on their Bay of Plenty orchard to tie vines to their wire supports. Plenty of time for Ross to mull over why he's becoming a leading light in a rebel kiwifruit growers group, the Independent Kiwifruit Growers Association, which is still being formally incorporated. The main target of their dissatisfaction is Zespri, the company charged with buying, marketing and exporting the vast bulk of our kiwifruit crop. One of the rebels' chief gripes is what's known as Zespri's 12-month system.
12-month supply is a full 24/7 supply by Zespri to the international market. Right now, we're Southern Hemisphere growers, and as a group, we have a problem with Zespri sourcing fruit from Chile that grows in the same season as we do. Northern Hemisphere, not so much of an issue, but against our counter growers, we don't think that's the right thing to do. We, at the last 2-3 seasons, or the industry actually revolves around a form of crop management with the severity of rejecting our fruit. And crop management is simply dropping good quality fruit on the ground here. While we're doing that, I question the need to even contemplate sourcing fruit from Chile. Look after our own fruit.
Peter Ombler, another Bay of Plenty grower, is president of the mainstream growers body Kiwifruit Growers. He says the great majority of growers are perfectly happy with Zespri's 12-month system and questions the rebels.
They clearly don't understand the way the 12-month marketing strategy works. The way it works is that it's to complement the New Zealand industry, because our fruit doesn't last for 12 months. So we will grow fruit and source fruit from offshore if it makes sense. Now, certainly New Zealand kiwifruit growers will be scrutinising Zespri to make quite certain that it does make sense. But for us to have the attitude that we're prepared to vacate shelf space when we could be occupying shelf space, if that makes sense for New Zealand growers, then that is a sensible thing to do.
All 2,700 kiwifruit growers own shares in Zespri, but the complexity of the system and a proposal to split each $5 share into 5 $1 shares, the 1 for 5 proposal, does not sit well with the rebels.
By diluting the share, I simply think that it's a means of fooling growers into believing that the $5 share can now be bought for $1, and before long, that $1 share will be $1.25. There'll be a problem with with shareholders.
So growers won't be able to afford to buy it.
No,
shares.
we're going to see. I believe we're going to see an inflationary hit straight away. Those that have got huge shareholdings will get a 25% return on investment overnight.
Another gripe is that the relationship between Kiwifruit Growers Inc. and Zespri is too cosy. That's rubbish, say the mainstream growers. The rebels also claim Zespri is moving away from its core business.
We're also saying that we don't believe there is enough accountability and transparency in the current model, and that leads to suspicion and distrust. So we thought it was time for someone else to ask some questions. We've got 2,200 odd growers spread around the country, a lot of small shareholdings, and so all you get is this good news story that the CEO tells them what a wonderful job they're doing and the difficulties they have and the challenges they face, but who's actually holding them to account in that sort of shareholding structure. The scale of the business has grown. I think they perhaps have lost a bit of touch with growers at the grassroots. Maybe that's a function of size, but equally more and importantly, which one of the issues we've touched on, is the whole shareholding structure. Shareholding and production are not aligned. You've got growers who are selling their shares. In fact, I did the analysis on between last year's annual report and this year's annual report, and I see there's another 40 or so growers who have dropped out of shareholding in Zespri, and someone else is buying those shares. So you get production and shareholding misalignment, and then you get people leaving the industry who take their shares with them and sell the orchard. In fact, I was talking to a couple of bankers the other night, and they said it would be 2 years since they saw an orchard sold with shares attached.
OK, those are their main complaints. There's much else besides. But hang on, just how much support does the Independent Growers Association have? Well, that's when Ross gets a bit coy.
There's an old saying, is fear of the unknown. And we're operating with the fear of the unknown in the sense that we're getting huge support. We've got great people supplying us with great information. And our phones are ringing, all of our phones are ringing. So that's a positive step. Numbers, that's for us to know. There's 2,700 growers. If we've got 200, 300, 400, who knows? But Marcus and I are confident that what we and a group of others have started is gaining momentum very nicely, thank you.
Ask Peter Ombler about their supporters, and his response is up front. Marcus Wilkins and Ross Hort are the only two he knows of. And he points to a survey result to undermine the Rebels' claims of widespread support.
We commissioned Colmar Brunton to survey 500 growers, so a pretty big sample, in February, and we asked them a few key questions. We asked them about their support for the single point of entry structure, which is obviously very important right now. 90% of them came back saying that was critical to their future. We also asked about our own performance because we were keen to know about that. 87% of them came back and said that our own performance was good. We also asked about the performance of Zespri. 93% came back and said that they thought Zespri's performance was good.
Peter Ombler says the rumbles of discontent can be traced to the legal action the Turners and growers have taken against the Zespri monopoly. He says that's stirred up feelings, and Ross Hort says the discontent is among green kiwifruit growers who are doing it hard. But will these rebels coalesce into a strong force of dissent for years to come? Watch this space. Sector Report will be keeping a close watch.